Let's look at where you can still rent around Seattle for $2,300 a month or less. We'll focus on 2 bedrooms, but I'll also point out the smaller unit types that fit the same monthly budget. First up is Vashon Island, an island community in Puget Sound, about 14 miles from downtown Seattle. Vashon is known for rural character, scenic landscapes, and natural parks and outdoor spaces, with no bridges connecting it to the mainland. People also know it for cultural events like the annual Strawberry Festival, along with its long Indigenous and European history. Housing here is tied more to island living and rural surroundings than a dense urban apartment feel. According to HUD's fiscal year 2026 fair market rents, the studio runs about $1,800 a month, a 1-bedroom runs about $1,850, and the 2-bedroom comes in around $2,160. That puts the 2-bedroom within a $2,300 monthly budget. For context, the larger units move above that line, with a 3-bedroom around $2,850 and a 4-bedroom around $3,320. Next is Delridge, a Seattle City neighborhood about 4 miles from downtown, stretching along Delridge Way on the eastern slope of the Longfellow Creek Valley. Delridge have a strong parks and green space feel, with places like Camp Long and Greg Davis Park, giving the neighborhood a more tucked-away West Seattle atmosphere. It also has cultural anchors like the Duwamish Longhouse and Cultural Center, and Walk Score puts Delridge at 60 for walking and 47 for transit. The housing feel is generally residential, with the neighborhood running along a major arterial and connected to the West Seattle Bridge area. According to HUD's fiscal year 2026 fair market rents, a studio runs about $1,830 a month, a 1-bedroom runs about $1,900, and a 2-bedroom runs about $2,210. So if the goal is a 2-bedroom at or under $2,300, Delridge fits that target. Larger units move past it, with a 3-bedroom around $2,890 and a 4-bedroom around $3,400. South Park is another Seattle City neighborhood, about 6 miles from downtown, just south of Georgetown and across the Duwamish River. The neighborhood has a distinctive industrial setting, but it also has a real riverfront identity, with the Duwamish River shaping the area and Duwamish Waterway Park offering scenic views and outdoor space. Walk Score gives South Park a 72 for walking and a 42 for transit, so it has a more walkable feel than some nearby areas. The setting is urban and industrial, with parks, gathering spaces, and the river all part of the day-to-day backdrop. According to HUD's fiscal year 2026 fair market rents, a studio runs about $1,800 a month, a 1-bedroom runs about $1,850, and a 2-bedroom runs about $2,160. That 2-bedroom number stays within a $2,300 budget. Above that, a 3-bedroom is around $2,850, and a 4-bedroom is around $3,320. Now let's cross over to Bremerton, a ferry-served Seattle area city on the Kitsap Peninsula, about 14 miles from downtown Seattle. Bremerton has a strong maritime identity, shaped by the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard and the Bremerton Annex of Naval Base Kitsap. People also like the waterfront setting, with Puget Sound views and local dining like Anthony's at Sinclair Inlet right on the water. Walk Score puts Bremerton at 80 for walking and 46 for transit. The housing mix includes historic homes and newer development, so it has more variety than a single apartment corridor neighborhood. According to HUD's fiscal year 2026 fair market rents, a studio runs about $1,270 a month, a 1-bedroom runs about $1,420, and a 2-bedroom runs about $1,860. That gives Bremerton the lowest 2-bedroom rent in this group. Larger units are above the $2,300 mark, with a 3-bedroom around $2,420 and a 4-bedroom around $2,790. Last is Burien, a Seattle area suburb about 9 miles south of downtown Seattle, located on Puget Sound. Burien has a mix of suburban convenience and small-town character, with an old town area set among more modern commercial strips. Its history includes 3 Tree Point and the Mosquito Fleet, and today you'll also find local seafood spots like Ivar's Seafood Bar. Walk Score puts Burien at 89 for walking and 53 for transit. Burion's built environment is a mix of older town center character and more auto-oriented commercial areas, so the feel can change from block to block. According to HUD's fiscal year 2026 fair market rents, a studio runs about $1,820 a month, a one-bedroom runs about $1,880, and a two-bedroom runs about $2,190. That keeps the two-bedroom under $2,300 a month. For larger spaces, the same rent benchmark moves higher, with a three-bedroom around $2,870 and a four-bedroom around $3,370. So the 5 places to keep on your radar are Vashon Island, Delridge, South Park, Bremerton, and Burien. They give you a real spread: an island community, Seattle city neighborhoods, a ferry-served Kitsap option, and a close-in South Seattle suburb, all with two-bedroom rents at or under $2,300 by HUD's 2026 fair market rents. If you were renting at that budget, which one would you choose? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more Seattle area housing breakdowns like this, make sure you're subscribed.